Hello, following I will explain what FTP is, how to do a simple test to find out what your FTP is, and then I will show you how to estimate your power zones based on that FTP. Let's go. But first of all, let's answer the question why choose power instead of heart rate to estimate zones for training. The main reason is lagging. Heart rate is always lagging to show the intensity effort. On the other side, one of the greatest advantages power has over heart rate is that your efforts are immediately and accurately represented. So what is FTP? FTP stands for fractional threshold power. But what does that mean? It is a crucial metric in cycling that shows how much effort you can sustain for 1 hour. It serves as a key indicator of the overall cyclist fitness and is often used to create training zones and intensities for cyclists. By knowing your FTP, you can create a more custom training plan for your needs. But where do I find this magical number? You do an FTP test. So a typical FTP test goes like this. You do a warm-up of 10 to 15 minutes at low intensity. Then you do a 5-minute effort at high intensity to prepare your body for the upcoming effort. Then you do a recovery of about 10 minutes. And then you do a 20-minute time trial. You record the number of the average power for that 20 minutes. And then you multiply that number by 0.95. So 95% of that number is your FTP number. We do that because you didn't go for an hour but only 20 minutes. So if your average power in the 20-minute time trial was 200 watts, then you multiply 200 by 0.95 and the result is your FTP number. For example, in the 200 you get 190 watts FTP. So using this number now, you can create a more custom workout and training plan. For comparison purposes, we divide the FTP with your weight. So if you have 190 watts FTP, you divide it by your weight, let's say 95, and you have 2 watts per kilo. Beginner cyclists usually have from 1.5 to 2.5 watts per kilo. Experienced are around 4 watts per kilo. Top cyclists and pros are around 7. Now that you have your FTP number, you can create your custom power zones that can be used in your workouts to target specific physiological adaptations. You can also use it to pace yourselves in a race and to track your fitness improvement by doing an FTP test every 6 to 8 weeks. Now here comes the math. So let's use a round number like 200 watts for an FTP to create custom zones. Let's see zone 1. So for zone 1, we use 0 to 55% of the FTP, so it's 0 to 110 watts. And this is for active recovery. For zone 2 is 56 to 75% of your FTP, and it's 111 to 150, and this is for endurance training. Zone 3 is 76 to 90% of your FTP, that is 151 to 180 watts, and this is used for tempo rides and tempo efforts. Zone 4 is 91 to 105% of FTP, that means 181 to 210 watts, and this is your threshold zone. Then zone 5 is 106 to 120% of your FTP. That is 211 to 240 watts for your VO2 max efforts. And then zone 6 is 121 to 150% of your FTP. That is 241 to 300 watts used for anaerobic capacity efforts. And zone 7, that means 301 watts and above. And this is for your neuromuscular power. Using power zones effectively involves understanding the training objectives of each zone. For example, zone 1 is for active recovery, while zone 2, the endurance one, is for building aerobic capacity. So zone 3 enhances your speed and endurance, while zone 4 works on your sustainable output. Zone 5 targets your VO2 max, while zone 6 works on intensive training. Finally, zone 7 is for all-out sprints. So by aligning your workouts with your power zones, you can strategically plan and adapt your training to improve your cycling performance. And here is a bonus tip. If you started cycling to burn fat, the best zone to burn fat is zone 2. Keep it up. Now that you know your FTP, now it's time to increase it. Click here to learn how. Lazos. Speed.